Hey, it's Thomas with PuraTHRIVE Nutrition, and I'm coming at you today with the 3 easy herbs that you can use to get the most out of your weight loss. I'm not talking about crazy stimulants that are going to get you feeling all hopped up. I'm talking about simple herbs, simple spices that you can even just add to your food or brew as tea. They're going to help you maximize every single bit of effort that you're putting in to losing any excess weight that you've got. All right. So the first one that I want to address is one that we hear about all the time when it comes to general health, and that's turmeric, okay? Simple turmeric. I'm talking about the whole thing of turmeric, not just the curcuminoids, not just the curcumin, not just that one little component. I'm talking about using the whole spice, the entire thing, whether you're cooking, whether you're putting it into any kind of golden milk, or whether you're just making it into a tea. By now we've heard everything there is to hear about turmeric, right? We hear about it on the internet, we see it on TV, we read about it in research journals. We know that it's a powerful anti-inflammatory, it's a powerful antioxidant, it stimulates digestion, it's an antifungal, and of course it also helps reduce blood sugar. But there's some pretty interesting studies that actually took a look at the effect of turmeric and fat loss and overall weight loss in general. You see, we can't simply forget that turmeric helps inflammation. And inflammation is characterized by, well, just that, inflammation. In fact, if you look at obesity in general, obesity is characterized as vast amounts of inflammation throughout the body. It's even involved in the definition. So thereby, if we can actually help reduce inflammation through an herbal pathway, then we can start indirectly affecting not just obesity, but even general weight loss. In fact, there was even a study done in 2006 by the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry that took a little bit of a deeper look at turmeric and its effect on weight loss. And what was really interesting about this study, and what I found particularly interesting, was the fact that it didn't just look at the curcuminoids. You see, a lot of studies just look at that one active component, the curcumin. Well, this study actually looked at turmeric extract, it looked at whole turmeric, and then it also looked at curcumin. And they studied obesity. They studied the effect of turmeric on obesity. They studied the effect on blood sugar and abdominal fat. And what was really interesting, by the end of the study, it was found that, of course, all subjects lost weight and all had decreased amounts of body fat, and of course, all had lower blood sugar. But the ones that had the best results were those that had whole turmeric. See, it's interesting. When the spice is combined in its whole form, it enhances the other components of the spice, which means, again, we go back down to that root whole food purpose, and it ends up being one of the best ways that you can consume turmeric. So we know turmeric's powerful, we know it's good for inflammation, but now we know that it has an even more powerful effect on blood sugar and weight loss in general. The next herb I want to talk about is actually a tea. Still a leaf, but it's a tea. We're talking about simple green tea. And the reason that this is on my list is because green tea has so many randomized, placebo-controlled studies that are out there showing the effectiveness of it that it's just hard to deny it is an amazing source of fat-burning fuel. Now, how it works is the fact that it's got something called epigallocatechin 3-galate, EGCG. And what that EGCG does is it's a powerful antioxidant that affects something called reactive oxygen species in our body, essentially making our bodies more efficient at metabolizing waste, but also making our bodies more efficient in general. In fact, one study by the Journal of Clinical Nutrition actually found that EGCG, that epigallocatechin 3-galate, had a stronger effect on fat mobilization and fat oxidation than caffeine in general. So caffeine is obviously a part of green tea, but the fact that the catechins that are in green tea alone are more powerful at fat burning and weight loss than the caffeine alone means that you're getting a double whammy effect when you consume some green tea. You're getting a little bit of that caffeine, you're also getting a little bit of that EGCG that's just helping the process further along. Now, the third herb that's going to help you lose weight is ashwagandha. Okay? Ashwagandha is not just for the mood. You see, everything you see out there is all about how it can enhance your mood and help you feel better, which is true. It does that. It's an ancient Ayurvedic Indian herb that has been used for really the last 4,000 years, specifically for mood, but also for metabolism. What I personally found the most interesting about ashwagandha is the fact that it's an adaptogen, and it's why I regularly take it. See, a lot of people don't realize what exactly an adaptogen is. What an adaptogen is something that helps normalizes our body's functions. It normalizes hormones. It does all kinds of things, and it brings us back to a baseline. Let me give you an example. Minerals, okay? You've got a balance of minerals that polarize themselves in your body. If you start skewing one, where you have too much consumption of one, it can slow down the absorption of another. If you have too little of one, it can allow another one to come out of balance. So you can't always just add one mineral or add one vitamin to make something happen. You have to address the root cause. And when you look at adaptogens, they do just that. They help normalize across the board. That's where the power of adaptogens really comes in. So when you look at using an adaptogen like ashwagandha in conjunction with something that is extremely anti-inflammatory like turmeric, then you have a very, very powerful combination. You're bringing yourself down to a root baseline level and then addressing inflammation. It really is a very powerful combination. But ashwagandha does one more thing that I've always found very interesting. It increases a neurotransmitter called GABA, G-A-B-A. And what this GABA, this GABA does, is it blocks nerve impulses from neuron to neuron, essentially making it so that you can calm down and feel a little bit more level. So sometimes if you have extra excitability that doesn't need to be there, this can help mitigate that. It can help slow it down. But more importantly, for those of us that are trying to lose some weight, what it can do is it can actually block receptors that would normally take in cortisol, meaning it's a cortisol antagonist. It occupies the receptor so that cortisol cannot hit it. So you're not having the negative effects of cortisol. Of course, you don't want to have too much GABA because you need a little bit of cortisol. But the fact that you can somewhat control a hormone that dictates how much body fat you put on just with a simple herb, that's pretty amazing in and of itself. So there you have it. Those are my 3 simple herbs that you can use for the best possible weight loss effects. And as always, keep it locked in here with PuraTHRIVE. My name's Thomas DeLauer. I'm the clinical advisory board for PuraTHRIVE, making sure that we're pushing forward with the right research so that you can get educated, so that you can learn exactly what you're putting in your body and know what is happening, so that you can not just take something, but understand everything that's happening in your body and around you. I'll see you in the next video.